Welcome back. It's day 14 of the 30-day Leadership Visibility Challenge. Today we're talking about rejection and failure. We're covering one of the hardest mindset shifts we have to make as leaders, and I don't really expect you to just be able to flick a switch on this one. Instead, you're going to have to work at learning how to consciously pause and reframe that beautiful art of executive presence that allows us to notice, pause, and reframe. What shift am I talking about? Well, I want you to understand the art of realizing that rejection and failure are actually good things. Now, if you've been around long enough, had mentors or coaches in the past, or just had a great manager, you probably know that logically, this is the attitude you need to have moving forwards. After all, it is a fact of life that you will fail at things, that you will get rejected from a job, or your request for a pay rise or promotion will be denied. And that's before we dig into the realities of your work and having an idea you put forward rejected, or a project you were responsible for creating and or delivering, resulting in outright failure. Not to mention the smaller things day by day that might go wrong. Here's the deal. You are going to get rejected. You are going to fail. Because if you aren't doing either of those things, my love, you're not doing anything new or exciting. And there's another piece of hard truth that you need to hear. If you aren't failing or being rejected, you most definitely don't have what it takes to be a leader. Because to do great things and lead others along with you, you have to take risks. You have to make decisions when there simply isn't all the data you desire to have. Because if there was all of that data, there would be a concrete answer and it would be simple. Instead, as a leader, sometimes we have to take a little bit of a leap of faith out of our comfort zone. But with every failure and rejection, you are on the fast track to new knowledge and new growth. In fact, if you can build the resiliency you need in order to deal with failure, I can guarantee that your road to success will be the fastest if it is peppered with failure along the way. Not because you have failed per se, but because of what failure tells you. If things don't work out, you have data to figure out what went wrong and why, to problem solve with and grow from. If things go perfectly, you don't know which of the 10 things you did were really important. So you'll keep doing all 10 things, even if 9 of them are actually making your life harder to get the result you're after, and your competition figured that out because they failed and is doing just one of the 10 things. In that sense, failure really is a great thing. It took running my own business to really embrace this. I see failure as opportunity. Now, I don't want you to mistake me here. This isn't about failing for the sake of failing. It's not. You still want to do your best. You want to use all the tools and all the data at your disposal to do the best you can. But when inevitably, from time to time, things go wrong, acknowledge it for what it is. Information to help you grow faster. So how do we make that mindset shift? There is, of course, the executive presence of noticing, pausing, and reframing. I feel like I should have that on a placard written on screen for you. And that is absolutely something you need to be practicing to build your resilience around failure. Reframe failure and rejection as tools and knowledge for future benefit. I actually want you to learn how to catch yourself and learn to ban the word failure from your vocabulary instead of refer it to something like lessons learned. But there's a slightly different approach. Let's actively start celebrating those lessons learned. Stick with me here. I want you to find a recent source of failure or rejection and celebrate it. Look back. Have you recently been rejected from a new job? Or maybe you've had a project you were excited about taking forward canned. Maybe you've got a document that you worked on that somebody just sent back with lots of red pen over it. I don't care. What I want you to do is document it. Write it all down. That alone can make this less intense. And then I want you to choose to actively celebrate what you did and what you learned. Brainstorm some lessons learned, even if they were hard and painful. And promise yourself a little celebration. Whether it's buying something nice for yourself or just taking an extra 15 minutes for yourself over your morning coffee. Because, coffee is the life juice of my career. The key is decide to actually celebrate and spoil yourself a little. That's the art of retraining your brain to realize failure is a good thing. So I want you to head over to Slack and let us know what you're celebrating and how in the realm of failure and rejection. I'll see you over on Slack.